Over to you, Sir Jim Radcliffe, is the call from Barcelona in their pursuit of Marcus Rashford, a player that has been left out of a Manchester United matchday squad for the 12th game in a row. Not travelling down to Fulham for United's game today down at Craven Cottage. Really interesting developments from Barcelona's side. We've had a bit of movement with Rashford this week from his part, from Barcelona's part, and it does look like all of the pressure now is being mounted onto Manchester United and what they do next. We're going to get into that story as well. We're going to talk a little bit updates on Patrick Dorgu and what's happened there. I did a special video last night just to gauge where you were all at and what you think should happen regarding Dorgu, Fernandez and him. We'll touch on that as well. New stadium gets the go-ahead and Manchester United are going to be looking all fancy and shiny going into... I can't remember what year it was now, it's that far away, but at least they got planning permission. Oh, well, not planning permission. At least they got government backing for it. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. Everything else that's going on with Manchester United, all the rumours from last night and everything going on. It's match day as well, everybody. I want your thoughts and your fears, I dare say it's for that Fulham game this afternoon. Well, this evening. That's weird, isn't it? Actually having a game at 7 o'clock on a bleeding Sunday. Anyway, we'll have a watch on for that later as well, so make sure that you're tuned in. We'll be back a bit later on this afternoon, obviously, as well with the warm-up show as usual, scheduled for a match day. So stay tuned, make sure you've hit that subscribe button and obviously got your bell notification on for all of your up-to-date content and everything going on with Manchester United. Sunday morning, 26th of January, we are talking Marcus Rashford again, everybody. We have got what I'd say we can pretty much say going into tomorrow, because I don't think anything significant is going to happen today with it being match day. Tomorrow we're going to be looking at 1 week near enough left in the transfer window. Pretty dead, and things need to happen. It does look like things are really going to start turning up right now this week. Obviously, Marcus Rashford needs to be out of Manchester United. I think that's been made very clear by Ruben Amorim. We said yesterday in the show, we said it yesterday morning, Ruben has made it clear, like, he's not being picked. He'd rather have less players on the bench than he should have. He'd rather have a player that wanted to leave. By the way, did you see the Real Betis video for welcoming Anthony? What the hell is that all about? I've got no idea. There's so many things wrong with that intro video or whatever it was to welcome Anthony to Real Betis. I don't know. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. But yeah, he is done. He was ahead of Marcus Rashford in the matchday squad against Rangers. Marcus has not travelled to Fulham. And again, Ruben Amorim putting his foot down and just saying, look, deal with this. He isn't going to play. What do you want to do? There's nothing more that Ruben can do. Now, the interesting thing is this week we talked about what Marcus Rashford is willing to do, as in he's willing to take a pay cut. These are all the reports going on. So, and a lot of Spanish reports on this one. Marcus Rashford willing to take a pay cut to make the move happen with Barcelona. They're looking to now move Christensen on as well, Barcelona, from their side. But the interesting thing with Barcelona that's come out is the figures that are now affordable. And there's a lot of Spanish reports talking about what Marcus Rashford's wages are, how much of them they can afford. Well, they can afford around about £3 million worth of them, or €3 million worth of the wages of Marcus Rashford. It is less than half of the wages. So when you look at what they're going to do, what they're going to offer and what Barcelona are prepared to do and what they can afford, they can only afford what they can afford, obviously. Marcus Rashford taking his pay cut. How much are Manchester United willing to throw into the pot to make this deal happen? And obviously the awkwardness of this was what we were talking about yesterday morning when we said, look, Manchester United right now with these loan deals for first team players is all based around what works best for them. Like the Anthony deal, very good. But with something the size of Marcus Rashford and the issue that Marcus Rashford is, does that change the environment around this move? Does it change everything that we're looking at with Marcus Rashford, i.e. this contract that he's on right now? The problem he is to Ruben Amorim, because let's be honest, Anthony wasn't a problem, it just wasn't good enough. So that was an easy move to make for United on that sense of things. But when you look at Marcus Rashford, the baggage, everything else that comes with him, this is a big problem at the football club. I think it is only going to come down to, and I've said this all along, only going to come down to how much money Manchester United are willing to put into this deal. Barca have shown their hand. They have said what they can afford. They want Marcus Rashford there. They're trying to move Christensen and Ansu Fati on. Fati has said no, he doesn't want to move, so that's an issue for them to deal with, but they are still confident they can make room for Marcus Rashford in the last week of this window. But it's only going to work on the wage basis that Manchester United put more money into this. Whether or not they feel they can do that now with what they've managed to save on Antony, I don't know. It all works around PSR and everything that they can afford in their for their yearly figures, which are going to be running up to June 30th, like we've spoken about many a times before and said. I feel like United now, in the position that we're in, who is in control of it, for one, who is calling the shots to the end? It has to be Sir Jim Ratcliffe to give the go-ahead on this for something substantial like this. And I feel like you can look at Omar Berrada. He's the one that usually did all of that contract negotiation stuff with Manchester City, and that was his role at the football club. But who is in charge of this? Who is going to make this big call? Is it Brailsford? You can work in your own little world, but you have to get used to being in the Manchester United world. And I think that's the problem that Ineos have got with this deal in particular right now. This is right at the top end of problems at Manchester United, and one of the biggest ones. And if they do make this deal happen, move Marcus Rashford on, then I do think that some of the fan base would actually just say, well, at least they have done that for Ruben Amorim. At least they've removed that problem from Manchester United, and he can actually go forward and prosper under Ineos, because with Rashford there, everything is just going to be a problem. We know this. So when it comes to it, how much? We have done this before. We have been here before. Everybody's had their opinion now. We've got 1 week left to go. There's not much else to discuss. Barca have basically said this is what we can afford. Marcus Rashford has said this is what he wants to do. It now does look like all eyes should be on Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos and what Manchester United actually do and their decision. It's going to come down to them just saying, look, right, okay, we're just going to have to bite the bullet. We'll pay this much wage, we'll just get him gone, and we'll just help Ruben Amorim out this week. Maybe Manchester United could look at them bringing in the loan moves that they need to, wage structure-wise, to fit into what they've got. Obviously, there's a lot that comes down to Alejandro Garnacho this week and what happens with him as well. So, Marcus Rashford aside, Garnacho right now, we're in the realms of waiting, and I think it is all going to break out tomorrow. Maybe tonight, I don't know, but with it being a late game, it's kind of awkward, but I think all of the knives will be sharpened. I think everything will be ready to go for United in the morning. And I think the Garnacho news, or at least a significant update on Garnacho, is going to come tomorrow morning after the game. And that is Chelsea's bid. But interestingly enough, with what Damasio was saying yesterday as well, is that Napoli are not actually out of the race right now. They are still talking with Garnacho. They're still talking to Manchester United. So are we going to get a little bit of a bidding war going on here? I don't think from the noises that have come out, I don't think necessarily what's actually going around right now that, well, Napoli are anywhere near what needs to be. If Chelsea's bid is what we're hearing, then I don't see how Napoli are in it. Garnacho has said, according to everyone in the reports, Garnacho has said that he wants to stay in the Premier League, and Chelsea are going to offer more money. So this is going to open it up for United. We'll see how Garnacho develops. We'll see how Rashford develops over the week. But I think it's going to come down to Manchester United, like we said yesterday, loan moves coming in until we can actually get into the summer. And players that Manchester United really want, that they've scouted, that they've been chasing for a while, that are not available in the January transfer window, but are available in the summer. I think that's what we go for. And I think that's where United are at right now. We did explain when the Nkunku loan situation was brought up yesterday that was something that would probably work with United. I agreed with that. I think United should go all in on Nkunku loan if they can make it happen. But it's all going to be determined off what happens with our two star boys up front, Marcus Rashford and Garnacho now this week. And I think that's where we're at. I mean, when you look at it, are you bothered? Like, the United fan base is doesn't want to lose money, doesn't want to seem to be stupid. 1 minute we just want to get the players in, 1 minute we don't want to be wasting money, it's a ridiculous deal. There's always two sides to the story. So tell me, should Manchester United just pay what's necessary to get Marcus Rashford out the door? Should we accept the 60 million for Garnacho so we can invest and just back Ruben Amorim? We're coming down to that call now. Like I said, last week of the window is here, Big decisions are going to need to be made this week. It's one way or the other, because if United stay with what we've got, if we stick with Garnacho, with Rashford, nothing moves on, I'm sure there are going to be plenty of people, the same people in my chat, that go on and say, look, we need to get the best deals, this is not enough, that will be saying then, look, we should have just dealt with this. Because football is what matters. What happens on the pitch is what is going to determine what happens in the transfer window and what United actually do. So when you look at what's happening right now, is it necessary that United do move Garnacho and Rashford on? Because I just feel like nothing is going to change. You may get a little bit more out of these players, but I think what this transfer window has done is shown what Ruben Amorim wants. And this is the big problem. And just to round this a little bit up before we come to the comment section, Ruben Amorim has made it clear what he wants to happen in this transfer window, who he wants gone, what he wants, and who he wants to use in his squad. After the press conference the other day, you've got Casemiro, you've got Garnacho, you've got Antony, you've got Marcus Rashford. We've only managed to move one player on for Ruben Amorim. We've brought nobody else in, and United now are stuck in a position where all of these players in the squad now have another 6 months to play at Manchester United, knowing that this manager and coach doesn't want them. We'll ask for a little bit of professionalism. Can they actually just see out the season? Can they be professional footballers and do the job? Well, quite clearly not, because we're 13th in the league, and a few of them have seen their asses. So we've got a week left to try and show this coach, this manager, that we are right behind him. It's all on Ineos right now, I feel, and what they can do. I understand what they're trying to do for the club in terms of finances and getting a better deal, but sometimes you just have to put football first and say, right, are we going to be better with these players in our squad, or are we going to be better with Ruben Amorim using the players that he can really work with no bad influence from anybody else? Because one bad egg is something, and that is always going to cause massive problems. 2 or 3 bad eggs, you don't stand a chance. You really don't stand a chance. I've said this before. The seniority in Manchester United's changing room is a massive issue. Harry Maguire can't fight them all. He is Mr. Professional. If you like him or not on the pitch, he is one of them players that is going to have the football in mind. He is going to be behind Ruben Amorim. Bruno Fernandez is going to be behind him, but you've got Casemiro, you've got Marcus Rashford, and you've got some of the younger players as well. You've got a full mix there of everything at Manchester United. Garnacho being the player that's come through the academy in the here and now. And I don't think he is as much of a problem that people are making out, but you just don't know. There's a reason why Ruben's ready to move him on and why he dropped him from the squad. Leopard never changed his spots and all of that sort of phrasing. I don't know. I'm convinced he's better in Garnacho, to be honest. I really do. I think there is a player there, and I think there is someone whose mind can be fully switched on into making this work and actually become better under Ruben Amorim, but needs must, like we said with him. Casemiro's been there everywhere, done it, won the lot. He's not bothered right now. His career's coming to an end. Yeah, but he is one of them players that everybody looks up to in that changing room. And then you've got Marcus Rashford, missed the so-called Manchester United, the biggest problem of all. That's too much to fight against for someone new into a football club, trying to salvage what was an absolute disaster already from what Ten Hag left behind. There's too much for Ruben Amorim to deal with right now, and unless Ineos do just bite the bullet, we are going to be talking the same way every single match day. There'll be the good result here and there, but we will still be where we are in the league right now. I do believe we can at least get into the top half of the table and challenge for the trophies that we are going for if we do act in this transfer window. And even if it is just loans and players leaving, I still think that's better for Manchester United right now. I think we are in a place where there are a good chunk of players in this squad that want to work for Ruben, but there are players that clearly just don't want to do it or feel like they have been cut adrift. And that you need to rectify. You need to get into that quickly and sort that out. Thank you, everybody, for being part of the show. Just under 1,200 in the room already. I love it. Please get your comments in. Get your likes in. We're creeping up to 150 likes. Let's get 500 on this show, everybody. Come on. You've got it in you. 500 likes and United get the win today. Okay, no. You're not falling for it? Oh, no, I get it. We're crap. It's going to be a really tough game later. It is, isn't it? Oh my, I'm nervous. I am nervous. Oh, I've just looked at my super chats now and Zane's there. I've not even read the message yet, but thank you for the super chat first of all, Zane. I'm now going to look at it. He says, Rashford should join Arsenal. Zane, I love you. Actually, I was really worried about what this super chat was, but that opening sentence, I'd take it, mate. Please, just get into Arteta and get him away from our football club, buddy. Do whatever you can, Zane, lad. Go for it. He be back. He be reborn under Arteta. What did you think of our masterpiece yesterday? Ref was a cheat for the red card. I'm going to be talking about Arteta and that red card in detail on Football Talk straight after this show, our other channel. So please do make sure that you have subscribed to that channel as well. We're going to be doing the paper round and everything from that Arsenal game in particular, because the aftermath is quite interesting. So that's going to be next after this show as well. But thank you for the super chat, Zane. Yeah, Arsenal, I watched the game. I did a watch along for the game yesterday as well. It was the one I did want to watch. And you know what? Arsenal dug a result out. To their credit, they did. Against 11 men, they managed to get the job done. I still don't like some of their antics, though. I really don't. They do my head in. But look, result-wise, a good one for Arsenal. You got Ross with another super chat. Says, if the plan is to call up some young guys, we need to get Rashford. We need to get Rashford's poisonous attitude off the club. It sucks. He won't play much there, but for now, just get him out. That is literally where we're at right now. I said it, and I keep on saying it. This is the 12 games, a dozen games. This is going on 2 months, near enough, that Marcus Rashford is not going to have played for Manchester United. How much more do you need, Ineos, to see that something is wrong and is not going to work with Ruben Amorim? Come on now, let's see some action. Almac says, if I was Alvaro Fernandez, I would be insulted that he is second or third choice. Why have they not triggered this buyback clause? I did talk about that in the special last night. I'm going to gauge your opinions on that again while we're live. Not too long from now, actually, but yeah, Adam has touched on the point that most media/YouTubers don't want to mention. Rashford's removal from the matchday squad was well spoken about. Question, why do Nacho fans think Amorim excludes him too? There you go. When you look at it, there is hidden issues and hidden problems within Manchester United, I feel. We're never going to know it because I think Garnacho right now, honestly, is more valuable to Manchester United than what Rashford is on the pitch and in the transfer market. He is the key to opening up everything for United. Marcus Rashford is not valuable to Manchester United in any way whatsoever in this January transfer window. He is going to cost Manchester United no matter what happens in this scenario. How does that come about? How do you have an international footballer who apparently loves this football club, and no matter what happens and what scenario comes about in this window right now, whether he stays, whether he goes permanently or loan, he is going to cost Manchester United? How is that even doable? It's ridiculous. And only at Manchester United can a scenario and a situation like this come about. Honestly, we are the masters at it. We are the ringleaders when it comes to circus acts. Honestly, Manchester United, Marcus Rashford is the biggest talking point in football right now. And I just said it there. If he stays, we get Marcus Rashford who can't be asked. Marcus Rashford who feels like the coach isn't behind him and the world's on his shoulders and is in shocking form anyway, even if that wasn't there. If he goes on loan, we're going to end up cost paying because nobody wants him. If he goes permanently for Manchester United, it's maybe a little bit better, but still, we're probably not going to get as much as what we wanted to because of his attitude and what he has been like on the pitch and off the pitch. It's a lose-lose-lose, really, for United. But under all of that, there is a hidden win, and that is Ruben Amorim. And if he does have to deal with Rashford going forward, I think it is, Ineos might as well go in there and say, go and coach these players and give him no balls to use. Go and coach these players. They're literally, you might as well take the training ground away from Ruben Amorim. If you leave players like that around, it doesn't matter what you do on the pitch. You're always going to have a problem in the dressing room, and it's an attitude and a mentality problem rather than tactics, rather than issues that could come about in-game or problems with players and what their qualities are. It doesn't matter. You could have the best players in the world right now, but if you've got a problem within that changing room, they ain't going to perform on the pitch. There is too much going on at Manchester United for us to actually even think about tactics, to think about playing style, to think about anything else but that. It's all about dealing with the issues behind the scenes before you can move forward. And I think United will prosper from him leaving. Big time. let's get into more of your chats on this. Ricky Rashford, Ricky Murray says Rashford is a footballer who wishes he was an American and an NBA player. If he was American, he would wish he was English. It's weirdo. Weirdo. That's a phrase that we use a lot in our household, that one, actually. If Nacho applied himself in the left wing-back position, the club would never entertain offers. The player has forced the club to act by accepting terms and refusing to be a team player. It's time to evolve, says Director of Football. Interesting one there. In Garnacho not adapting to a certain position. I'm going to have a big gulp of coffee before I come to the comments on this one. Thank you all. Keep your comments coming in, everybody, as well. Rashford is just a leech, sucking the life out of this football club. Our squad is already too small. We need 3 players in if these players are going to leave. If Rashford didn't look like a big bird, he would probably be a better player. I take it you mean the haircut that he's got right now. I'd start Ericsson today. That small pitch at Craven Cottage will suit him. Do you know what? There is a shout for Ericsson to come in. He played well against Rangers, I thought. I think with Toby Collier next to him and them legs that he has got around him, I think it worked for Ericsson. I thought he just kept things simple and things ticking along for United alongside Collier in that midfield. And we did create chances. We should have had a better result than what we got against Rangers. I thought we should have had at least 5 goals, including the one that was disallowed wrongly. But still, like, with Ericsson in there, I think we just have that experience, that quality, and that little bit of know-how. I think that's more important than anything else. That little bit of, right, let's just calm this situation now. Because at the moment, it just seems to be like one speed only with Manchester United. So yeah, I agree with the Ericsson one. I think it's going to be interesting to see who he does go with today. I think the small pitch suits United today. I do. I think it definitely suits us. I mean, our record there at Craven Cottage isn't the worst, to be honest. I think we've won there the last 2 times we've been, and we've beaten. We've got a good record against Fulham. They're a tough team, a very tough team, but we have got a decent record against them recently. More on that later in the warm-up show, of course. I start 2 weeks jury service tomorrow. If we win today, I'm setting them all free. Oh, God. Nice one block, mate. But thanks for the super chat, buddy. Are you going today, mate? Tell me. I don't think you will be. Going off what you've said over the last few weeks and giving your tickets up, I don't think you will be. But I'm just guessing there. But let me know anyway. What's the embargoed part of the press conference supposed to come out? There isn't any. The press conference is already out. There is nothing else to come out. I was at the embargoed version of the press conference and I covered that on Friday. It's a little bit different in the week because they have to do the post-match press conference for the Rangers game and then they have a pre-match press conference, so it's extra short when there is a double game week. So Thursday, Sunday, there is only one part to the press, so just to keep you updated on that one. We have... I'll go into more of the team stuff and everything later on, but yeah, just on Rashford again. Let's finish up with your comments on this. Take the hit on Rashford, Casemiro, get Alvaro back, keep Garner till the summer unless Chelsea overpays. Try to get someone on loan. That we can do this window. Look, I said this yesterday. Like, if Garnacho doesn't go. I don't know about Marcus Rashford, but let's just use Garnacho as an example right now. If Garnacho doesn't go, United are not going to stop looking for more players. They want a lone player in. So if Garnacho stays, we could still go for Nkunku. So don't think that the Garnacho deal is stopping Manchester United bringing anyone in this month. The fact that United are looking at loans tells you exactly where the club is at in terms of what we've actually got. We do need another player in, and United are actively looking for 2 players this month. I think it will be a loan in the forward area, and obviously, which is going to take us nicely into what I was talking about last night on that special video about Alvaro Fernandez's situation and Patrick Dorgu. And you can see at the bottom of the screen there, like Manchester United right now, I've been told that this deal is not happening. Lecce demanding 35 million from Manchester United to sell Patrick Dorgu. United's second improved bid for 27 million was rejected. So when you look at everything that's going down there, when you look at everything that's happening, you're going into that and going, wow, right now, we're not getting Patrick Dorgu. And I said it last night in the show. Like, if Lecce are going to hold out and play the big boys here and say, look, we want more money in the summer, and don't forget, the part that Napoli are playing in this is massive. The part that Napoli are playing here is that Lecce know that Patrick Dorgu can go to them in the summer for more money than what United are offering right now, and they want Patrick Dorgu to stay. So they've probably got guarantees. I promise you right now, I think, in my mind right now, I just think, knowing what Ineos are actually like, they thought they would have gone in there and got this deal done. But I don't think they've banked on the Napoli situation coming in. And we're going to look a little bit stupid here. But I think United walk away from Dorgu. That's my honest opinion on where it's at right now. We're not going to pay 34, 35 million for him. You can get better players. You really can. I know it seems peanuts. I know it seems little increments in like moving up in price, 2s and 3 millions here and there. Just pay it, just get it done. But it all matters towards what Manchester United are doing with PSR. They have a budget. They have a set price on what they can afford this month for a player. And Patrick Dorgu is going ahead of that. He was supposedly one of the cheaper options. When that turns into a more expensive option, and United really are starting to look at that creek. Yeah, that one, that famous one, that shit creek. And yeah, you're looking around for your paddle, and that's not there either. United are going to have to go to option C in this window. And that's the point I was making last night. Option C being Alvaro Fernandez. And where is his head at in this? Knowing that United could have triggered this back clause whenever they wanted this window. Go back in for Alvaro and take him back. But he knows that United have looked at Mendes. He knows that they have looked at Dorgu. They've bid for Dorgu and not got him. And now they're going to him. Oh, it's a scary thought, isn't it, of where we're at right now with it, with Manchester United and what they could be doing here in ruining the chances of getting Alvaro in. The problem you've got with this now is that it's Alvaro said that I'm worried about rather than where United are at. They could just think, well, let's just go trigger this clause. Honestly, where are you at as a player? Like, if you know you're bottom of the barrel and you're smashing it in the club that you're at right now, you won't want to go. And it's just a bad start, I think, in trying to bring another player in. Look, the footballers are big boys. They know how the football world works. Look, they'll know that the clubs are bidding other players and they can be third and fourth choice or whatever, a first choice. Like, it depends how big their egos are. At the end of the day, some of them might take that and I'll show you that I'm the best. I'll be the best Man United left wing back ever. You could get that scenario. Like, they know that football is brutal. And unless they've been in Man United's bubble anyway, God. But Alvaro has been treated, I think, I don't think treated fairly at Manchester United. So he's already off to a bad start, even though he loves the club and he said that. He owes a lot to Manchester United. I think he was treated badly under Ten Hag in that situation, moved around from pillar to post. In the end, United luckily made this deal happen where they could actually buy him back and make a real positive deal happen for them. So I look at the Dorgu situation right now. I go, if United are not going for 34 million, just walk away and go and get Alvaro Fernandez. If that deal is doable, and everything says it is, everything says that United can get this deal done, and because of that buyback clause, it won't take any time at all. Maybe United have got into the last week of the window, knowing this and thought, you know what, at least we can actually just go out and get Alvaro. I just feel like if that was me as that player, I'd be like, they just strung it all along till the end, and it just feels like I'm not that important. Do you know what I mean? It makes it look like he's not that valuable if he isn't the first choice. Really, what United should have been doing is going right into this window. If there were targets there set and they knew who they wanted, if they really wanted Alvaro, they should have gone right into the window and gone and got him. That's what I feel. Super chat in from Ricky says, I get nervous out playing anyone in the top 20 of the Premier League. How we have fallen. When I feel positive, I question my mental health. Yeah, you do start to question yourself when you start feeling a bit more confident about what's happening on the pitch, don't you? Like why am I feeling? It's just all going to go wrong. It's all going to go wrong again, isn't it? You just feel like that's what it's going to be with United. Forget Dorgu, 1000%. Alvaro says Les, they are not going in for Alvaro because they had spent money from the Alvaro sale. No, that's got nothing to do with it at all. The deal is a buyback clause and is separate to anything else. So if Shahil, it's not the case. They will be able to get him if they want. Why can't we get a player like Dennis Irwin? Oh my God, class player. Yeah, Peter, I know. Unfortunately, there are no players like Dennis Irwin ever. There won't ever be a player like Dennis Irwin again. Legend. Absolute legend. Keep what we have out this season, or pay loads of money for the second and third choices. Ellen's going brutal. Super chat on that one there, I think. Keep what we have out this season, and or pay loads for money for second and third choices. I just think when you've got Alvaro Fernandez there, I think that's just the simple, the easy option that United should be just triggering and just get the deal done. It works better. It works better for Manchester United. And it works better for Ruben Amorim, I think, as well. Please, do you know 1,000%? No, more than 100%. Oh, right, sorry, Ricky. Super chat in again from You Got Roz as well. Keep them coming in. I'm just getting through all of your comments at the moment, everybody. So if you have got anything to say, get into the comment section. Thank you. Got to be honest with him. Tell him you need to win the Europa League to qualify for the Champions League. Tell him how important left wing back is in Amorim's system, and tell him Ten Hag's bum ass has gone. Yeah, I know. I think, like I said, I know exactly what I would say to Alvaro Fernandez. I'm sure United and Ruben Amorim know how to say it. I don't think he needs much encouragement. I just think that in the back of his head there'll be that thought process like, why was I so far down? I should have been the perfect fit. It's match day, remember. It's the hope that kills. Yeah, thanks for the super chat block. Yeah, it is match day. It is good. But obviously, I think we're all worried about it's when the transfer window is taking over game days, when the transfer window is taking over like what we should be talking about. It tells you exactly where Manchester United's fan base and their minds and their heads are at. It does. It's like today, we could get a good result today, and it would have been a mega week for Ruben Amorim. And we've got a win that pretty much sees us through to the knockout phases of the Europa League. We got a win in the league as well. And then we go on to Steaua Bucharest and Crystal Palace next week. Realistically, United are looking at right now, we're looking at Fulham, and then we're looking at Palace, and we're looking at Steaua Bucharest after beating Rangers. So them 4 games. We should be beating Fulham today, but we're not confident. We should be beating Steaua. We should be beating Crystal Palace. On paper, you're looking at them games and you're going, wins for United. That's exactly it. Right, before we move on to the stadium stuff and get into the back end of the show, quick updates on stuff that is coming out this morning in news. Obviously, we bring you everything that comes throughout the show as well, if anything does pop up. Interesting one coming up. Manchester United are considering a move to sign Ansu Fati on loan before the end of the transfer window. I wonder why. Is that to maybe make room for someone else? Oh, look, he doesn't want to go anywhere. They can't loan him out. Okay, we'll loan him, and you just take Marcus Rashford. A loan swap situation, maybe. I don't know. That's come out from Gimme Sport, so let's see if there is anything in that. Just on the Dorgu situation, Romano has tweeted out with details saying, understand, United are not giving up on Patrick Dorgu deal as negotiations continue. Lecce turned down over €30 million from United, but add-ons can be included in new proposal to try and make it happen. Lecce want $40 million to keep Dorgu until June. Also on that, he also talks about Napoli. Napoli keen on this deal for the summer, which is what I said was the stumbling block really for United. I think the Dorgu deal would have gone through, but where we're at right now is because Napoli are in and there is another offer on the table, United are struggling, basically. They really are. And that's probably where we're at right now, I think, with everything. It's what can we do? How much have we got to offer? Can we put any more into it? Do we want to put any more into it? Gifted membership, Ricky, good man. Welcome to the members club. That's come from London. Cheers for that, London, mate. Keep liking the video, everybody. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV. And don't forget, straight after this show, we're going across to football talks as well for the paper round, where we will be getting into some interesting stuff around the Premier League. Some stuff that does impact Manchester United as well. in the paper round today. So stay tuned for that if you want to stay on. If you're tucked up in bed still watching on TV or on your phone or your tablet or whatever, then get your comments in. We're going to be running for a little bit longer this morning. Really, I'm just trying to G myself up for the day and what's coming tonight. But I think everybody's got their own ways and their own little match day routines right now. I just try and stay as busy as possible so I don't have to think about the football until later on. And that's where I'm at. We've got a game today for Kaz anyway, which will hopefully take my mind off it. So Kaz has to score a hat-trick today in her game as well. So that's going to be that's going to be on the agenda as well later. Anana, Rubens, Rashford, he can't keep playing him. He could go for Ruben what Rashford did for Ten Hag. Drop the liability, no more chances. Few want Garnacho to go, but we need the money. Desperate Les Sponge just coming in there. By the way, the stories about Andre Onana yesterday not being on the train, he has been spotted on the train. So the pictures of all of the players going, that's what everybody's put in to social media yesterday. Just the players that have been seen, and everyone's taken that as the matchday squad. The one definite who isn't there is obviously Marcus Rashford, so that's the one that you can say. But Ahmad wasn't seen, but he is there apparently. Anana wasn't seen, but he is there. So there is plenty of players that weren't spotted that were in that squad that everybody was talking about yesterday, but who takes a picture basically, if there's any pictures of him. The good news for the game was, and again we'll talk about it a bit later, was that Yoro and Delict are both travelling. So them knocks that we were worrying about after the Rangers game, they look okay and we're good to go with them. Adam, my way to watch away matches is in the pub. I need a couple of pints to watch United these days. A couple, Andrew? 4 or 5 maybe. Manchester United's new stadium. Look, it is going ahead. It's going to be the summertime when we find out for definite, and the announcement will be made that United are planning to move ahead with the new stadium build. You would have seen the headlines that hit all of the social media pages yesterday. Manchester United plan for a new 100,000 capacity stadium as a centrepiece of a major regeneration project has been given a huge boost after the government threw their support behind the proposals. United CEO Omar Barada welcomes Chancellor Rachel Reeves back in. Omar Barada, Manchester United CEO, welcoming last night's news that the government will support the regeneration of Old Trafford. In his words, the delivery of a world-class stadium can be the catalyst for major regeneration of the area of Greater Manchester, which requires new investment. This has come from Mike Keegan, by the way. I'm just going to read through this again. Requires new investment to thrive again. We cannot achieve that wider aim on our own, which is why we welcome the announcement by the Chancellor and the ongoing support of the Mayor of Greater Manchester and Trafford Council. If we work together, there is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to create a landmark project around Old Trafford that the whole region can be proud of. That being Omar Barada, Manchester United CEO. Definitely moving forward. Now, we know for definite that this announcement is probably going to come in the summer. It has been put back. There is a huge project going in here with this as well. And it has taken this amount of time and this long to get there simply because of the size of it and what is going to be coming. So, hopefully, Manchester United are going to be seen as this big club again. Hopefully we are actually going to see the right type of facilities at Manchester United. We're going to see something that we can do on match days. We're going to have a little bit of a match day experience. It's all to come in years to come, but first things first, and I think this is right, the order of play. You have to make sure that you've got decent football to watch in a good stadium like that in the first place. And by the way, last night I was... I had a little chat, randomly enough, just on a night out last night, talking to Andy Burnham about football. Yes, that did happen last night. I'm not going to go into details for obvious reasons, but yeah, that did happen last night. One of them task force members. Interesting chats. A lot of talk about Everton as well in that one. As we all know, he is a big Everton fan. But yep, everything is massive. That's all I'm going to tell you. Massive. And it is going to be the best that there is. So, yeah, everything that City have done, everything that Tottenham have done, everything that has been done around the world is going to be eclipsed by Manchester United's regeneration of Old Trafford, Trafford Wharf, Salford Quays, and then this brand new, shiny new stadium smack bang right in the middle of it. That is what is going to be going on. I did talk yesterday about Ethan Wheatley going out on loan as well. I talked about the youth academy players and now being what Manchester United would use to make money in the summer as well. Good luck to Ethan Wheatley. I didn't say that yesterday on the video, but yeah, good luck to him. Jadine, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you. Make sure you get the likes in, everybody, on the video. Give me your thoughts in the chat. Talk to me about anything that we have just been talking about. It must have a roof. How can we sign players from the sunny climes to play in the water polo stadium? We can compete. Anything like ticket prices, the only people that will be able to live there are the rich. It's going to be interesting in terms of how much Manchester United are going to charge for the new stadium. It's quite a scary thought, actually. But, yeah, Madri in the stands block. Yes, please. £3.60 a pint. It's not actually bad, to be honest. It's not actually a bad price, but I look forward to the day when we can actually walk up to Old Trafford and feel like it is one of these modern football clubs again. We do need to get back up there and be competing again, don't we? We really do. But let's just see. Let's just see how that goes. But it is moving ahead, and it is going to be a new stadium. Let's be honest. Everything that's been going on with Old Trafford at the moment, like to get into the stadium, the problem's there. And just onto that as well, like I do know for certain that the reports going in from the Rangers game were absolutely brutal. And that is being looked into from everything that happened with the Manchester United fans and the whole organisation and setup of the game. Like, it was an absolute disaster from start to finish. And no surprise, the amount of arrests, the amount of reports that went in. But that is definitely being looked into. And so it should be as well. It's an absolute joke. Morning, Ms. G's. We signing anyone? Happy Sunday. We're signing no one. No, I'm joking. We will. I think we will get 2 players in, definitely. Manchester United are currently evaluating whether to present a new offer to Lecce for Patrick Dorgu. The offer could approach €40 million in total with the inclusion of various bonuses. So United are currently evaluating whether to put in another offer for Patrick Dorgu. So that might not be an offer going in then. That's a concern. That is a concern. But yeah, let's see how it develops. I think tomorrow's going to be a big day. After the football and everything that happens at Craven Cottage, I think is going to be massive. But we'll see on that one. I think it is August going to kick off this week in terms of transfers. But massive thank you to everybody in the chat and in the room today. We are nearly at the 400 live like mark, everybody. So if you could give the video a like, make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV. We're on the march to 75k. That's our next target. So please get into the likes. Make sure you've subscribed. Get your bell notifications on. For now, that is us done this morning. All the contributors, mega. Thank you so much. Everyone who has contributed to the show and new members, welcome along. Anyone who's new subscribed, welcome to Forever United TV. I'm Adam. I'm now moving across to Football Talks. You will be redirected there. It's going to be an interesting chat on this one as well. We're doing the paper round. That is next, everybody. So I will see you over there. Again, thank you for all of your contributions and comments on this show. Have a great day if you are busy, but come and see me again on Football Talks in just a moment's time.